Hey guys, sorry for the background noise again. This is day two of carpet cleaning, so it's loud as fuck, but I wanted to rush and make this review because I know the last time I have made them, they've been like really like late and way after the show premiered, so I'm gonna try to post as soon as possible. Okay. So this is seven, episode seven, what's it even called? Trouble in Paradise. So we open it up, and Julie and Rocky are taking Judy's doll box down and saying, "Bye, Judy, send out a tweet for me," and all that. And I'm just sitting here like, really? Really, guys? What boggles my mind about it is the fact that you guys didn't do that to Natalie's picture that we saw at least. But you guys were friends with Judy, and now you're taking her picture down? I mean, I just feel like you should have so much more respect for her and for yourself. So I just thought that was really annoying and pathetic and petty. But whatever. So then, after they do that shit, these random people walk into the house and start having a luau. Everyone kind of goes with it. I always wonder, like, what if Oxygen didn't send these people, and like someone just walked in doing some tribal dance, and these girls are like, "Yeah, leaky lack rack rack," and doing all this like Hawaiian shit, and then they ended up being like mass murderers or something. Like, somehow. So they find out they're going to Hawaii, and they're all excited and whatever. And so as they're getting ready and stuff, and Danny is talking to Camila, and Julie speaks on the fact that Danny and Camila have gotten really close recently. Like they're best friends now, but from my understanding, Danny and Camila have always been pretty close. But Julie tries to convince us and herself that she is not worried about it. She's not thinking about Danny or Camila, so she's just worried about Hawaii. So they take the plane to Hawaii, they get off, and they go into their resort. It's a really nice place. We have the automatic separations are obvious. Julie, Rocky, Jay to get a room, and then Sarah, Danny, and Camila get a room. So now it's like kind of the house is divided into like three. There's six girls left, and it's split in half. So Danny starts talking to Camila about how she heard Jada make a comment about, because the thing Danny had said was Danny's scared of planes or scared of flying, so wanted Camila to sit next to her. And Jada made a comment, if the plane crashes, how's Camila gonna save you? And Julie started laughing and that pissed Danny off. I don't understand why. My whole thing is ever since Judy left, I feel like all of the drama is just gonna be petty as shit. Because with Natalie was actually a bitch, so Natalie caused a lot of drama. Judy, Judy was crazy, and everyone thought she was nuts, so it's like that kind of caused drama. Now the fact that Sarah's the only remaining girl there who was in that group, and Sarah's chill as shit, it's like this is all gonna be petty drama. So they get on the party bus to go to this dinner, and Danny confronts Julie about it and goes, "I just want to confirm that you were laughing when Jada was talking shit about me." And Julie says, "Jada wasn't talking shit about you." And Danny goes, "Well, and then Jada goes, "Well, Danny, were you there?" And Danny goes, "No, but I heard the same story from two people, so I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't be lying." And Danny asked Sarah to confirm, and Sarah confirms and said, "Yeah, you said if the plane crashes, how's Camila gonna save you?" And then I joked and said, "I have the emergency IOC, so I'd be the one taking care of everyone." And then Jada's like, "You were talking to us?" Like, and Sarah goes, "Yeah, I mean, I said that." And then Jada goes, I check track records, and you're very fake, and I feel like you're trying to start drama with people just to keep the focus off of you. So I'm not gonna believe that." But this is what confuses me. It's the whole episode. Jada makes it seem like Sarah's the plotting type, and Sarah like starts drama, and she like puts the bug in people's ears. But it's like Sarah was never like that. Sarah's never been the type to do that. Sarah's actually always been really chill. Like Sarah, says stuff like without thinking about it, and Sarah like does things without thinking about them. But I mean, the one who puts the bug in people's ears and flips it is your bitch Julie. So I don't understand why that's even a concern with Sarah. Like I don't think that Sarah, is the type to do that. So then they go to this dinner, and it's like split equally again. It's like Danny, Camila, and Sarah are doing their own thing, and the other three are doing their own thing. And then Jada continues to try to convince Julie that Sarah is trying to start drama because Sarah is just such a drama starter. And they go out to the club, and they're a mess, and that scene was edited so weird. So then the next day they decide to go parasailing, and they get on the boat, and the guy tells them, like sit with who you want to go with, who you want to partner with. And I mean, it's automatically clear Rocky's going to go with Julie, and Camila's going to go with Danny because Danny is kind of scared of heights. So Sarah automatically has to go with Jada. Poor Sarah. So Jada's like, I don't like you and I don't want to be around you, but I'm going to do this experience anyway. So they all have fun, and then Danny gets up there, and Danny's talking about, like, oh, it's like a Final Destination movie. And she's all freaking out and stuff, like, get me down, get me down. So then later that night, they go to the club, and Julie and Rocky and Jada are dancing, and the other three are sitting down. And Danny makes a comment, and she says something about Julie's like a fucking mess or whatever. And Sarah goes, that cellulite's really cute. And Julie starts laughing. And I think like Danny thought that Julie was laughing at the comments they were making. So goes, what's so funny? And Julie's like, you're paranoid. Nothing about you. Like, nothing about you. Danny goes, I'm not paranoid. And Julie starts like preaching to her, like, you're in a bad mood then. You're being an attitude. And then Danny calls her a cunt. So that pisses Julie off, which is, I mean, that's one insult. Like, that's one name. Like, that's always been the one insult to me, that when you call somebody that word, when you call somebody the C word, it's deaded. Like, you could not choose a more vulgar insult to give somebody. So then Julie decides she's done with her based off of that account. And then we get back to the house, and Danny wants to have a talk with Julie. Julie doesn't want to have a talk with Danny. So Julie goes into the house, and she goes in the house and starts hanging out with Jada and Rocky. And Danny is sitting outside, bawling her eyes out, talking about how, even if they have their falling out and they're in their rough patch, that Danny's family, why do we keep getting them confused? Like, all of them. That Danny's family would still take Julian and still treat her like a family, because that's just how her family is. And Danny feels like it's unfair because she doesn't think she gets the same treatment. This is kind of when you see, like, what Julie went through with Judy is what Danny's going through with Julie. Like, the same thing. I think Danny actually made that point, because Danny's torn up and destroyed about what's going on, and Julie doesn't even seem to get up on it. So, the next day, they decide they're gonna go swim with sharks. And Julie and Jada and Rocky are sitting in bed, and Jada makes some joke about, oh, we're gonna have to do this and this so we can push them in. And everyone starts laughing, and here comes Camila. I wish a bitch would. Like, I think, like, these girls were, like, whispering. Like, these girls were talking so under their breath. It's like you'd hear, like, ants in the wall before you'd hear Jada say, we should push these bitches in. And here comes Camila. I wish a bitch would. Like, she had, like, a fucking cup to the door. So then Jada's like, bitch, we ain't talking about you. what makes you think we meant you? So Camila comes in the room and gets up in Jada's face and starts yelling in Jada's face. And Jada does that thing when someone yells at her face and she goes, so that was cute. And Camila walks out of the room and Jada goes, wash your teeth or wash your fucking teeth. Brush your teeth before you yell at my face. That's so rude. Bitch, put on some makeup before you get on the camera, please. You look like a friggin' mutant from The Hills Have Eyes. So they go do this thing with the sharks, and that's all cool and whatever. And Rocky's talking about how it's really fun because they get to bond and whatever, and you know, do fun activities together. That's cute. That's fun. So they get on the bus, and here goes Camila and Jada getting into it again. I guess apparently Camila had her feet sitting like on the bench, like sitting on like this. You can't see my foot, but like that. So Jada like sat on her foot or something, and Camila lost it. So they end up getting into an argument, and Camila ends up throwing the blow of "Go fix your crackhead mother." That was kind of a low blow, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm not gonna sit here and act like that pisses me off because I mean it doesn't. I realize because this is why I understand. Camila's a fighter. Camila is a fighter, and we've seen that because every single time Elise pisses her off, what did she do? She whooped her ass. In this situation, where Camila's not trying to fight, and Camila's trying not to fight and throw hands and hurt people and lay her hands on someone, Camila's only defense mechanism is to hurt them, like, mentally and emotionally. So instead of using her fists to inflict pain, she's using her words, which isn't cool. But it's like I understand why she reported to that. So, the next morning they wake up and they get some paper about how they're gonna have to go on the beach and do these fucking bad girls games, which for some reason they introduced in every season now. So they have to do these bad girls games and the beach. And the teams are automatically split up, obviously. Sarah even said, of course, like it was Sarah, Camila, and Danny versus Julie, Rocky, and Jada. So they start doing this, and it's an eating challenge, and I guess it's gross food. Julie just blew through it. So then they move on, and they're doing this challenge where they run back and forth, and they have to like grab like an article of clothing, put it on, run, and then send the next person to grab an article of clothing, put it on, and run. So then I think the pink team or Camila's team ends up advancing, and then they go do the challenge like where you keep the raft in the water and keep it from drifting back to shore. And Camila and Jada are in the water, and then Sarah or Rocky and Jada are in the water, and then Sarah and Camila are in the water. So they're pushing the raft, and Rocky and Jada lose theirs, and they end up having to start all over again. Meanwhile, Sarah and Camila get theirs to where it needs to be, bring it back, and now they have to like dig in the sand to find like a treasure chest which has a whistle, and you blow the whistle, and that's how you move on. So they're digging, and Camila swears she found it, and she goes and washes it off, and it's a stick. So then Jada and Rocky end up catching up, and now everyone's freaking out. So in the midst of this whole thing, they're digging, and I guess Camila begins to start to like put sand in Jada's hole. Sand hole. Camila. Oh god. But Camila starts to put sand in the other team's hole, and Julie gets pissed off, and Julie's like, "Quit putting sand in our hole." So. So, of course, you know, I mean, I don't know necessarily if Camila was doing it on purpose because, you know, there's always the chance that, you know, she's working so hard and doing it and putting in so much effort that, like, she doesn't realize where it's going. But then she said something about, like, didn't you do All Stars? We Play Dirty or something like that. So then Jada, her 3-year-old ass, 3-year-old times 10 ass, has to start taking the sand and putting it directly in the other team's hole, which is getting all over Camila and in her hair. And Camila goes, and of course Camila has to be extra and all, and turns around and goes, "Bitch, you got it in my hair," and throws all the sand up in her face and goes, "Fuck it, I quit. Y'all can have that $1,000," which is really like $300 per each person. Like, ooh. So yeah, pretty much. That happens, and Jada and Rocky and Julie end up winning. And Julie says the other team is salty about it, but it didn't really seem like they were that salty. So then they go to like this, some sort of like festival or something. I don't know exactly what the hell it is, but they're like learning how to make like spears and shit like that. I don't know. So at this point, Julie, Jada, and Sarah are having a talk because Jada's still pissed off about what Camila had said about her mom. And Julie and Rocky are convincing Jada that Jada shouldn't let it go. Like they're like, Jada, there's certain things that you should let go and certain things you shouldn't. And my whole point is if this is redemption, then why can't we let it go? Like, the season is literally about changing and maturing. Why are we still dwelling on a comment Camila made? Like, I understand it was a fucked up comment. But, like, sitting here and arguing back and forth about it forever, like, what the hell? This is just like, you guys are, like, being so naive to change. Like, this, you guys are supposed to change and you guys are supposed to grow, and you're not. So, Jada decides, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna retaliate. Okay, so this is how Jada retaliates, right? This is how Jada retaliates because Jada could have said something hurtful to Camila. Jada could have said something rude to Camila, like a low blow to Camila. But Jada sneaks into the house while Camila's in the kitchen, steals her camera, and shatters it. So instead of using a low blow at her or something that would hurt her feelings that she could, like, you know, eventually get over, you destroy her property. That's not cool. And Julie even said, Julie's like, that's just going to make things worse. Like, you probably shouldn't have done that. And Jada's like, what? I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. So now Camila's pissed, and Camila's looking for her camera because she doesn't know that this whack, thought-ass bitch broke it. So she starts flipping out about it. And Danny's like, I've never seen you this pissed. So Danny and Sarah start doing damage control real quick, and they're like going around like, Julie, did you take her camera? And Julie's like, I didn't touch it. I don't touch people's stuff. Like, that's legit. Rocky said the same thing. Jada's just sitting there like, so Jada's not going to own up to it. You know what's so funny is this situation seems so familiar. Oh, it seems familiar because Jada got on Sarah's ass for not admitting to taking the pictures. But here's Jada when Camila's hassling her about it, and the other girls are hassling her about it, like, who took the camera? And Jada's not admitting to it. And Jada's not even trying to prove a point. So I don't know why Jada is sitting here calling people spineless when Jada can't even admit to breaking Camila's camera. So, yeah, that was pretty much this episode. Is, you know, I don't know what is going to happen, but I know the next episode, the family comes, which is I'm kind of excited for. I'm kind of excited to see the family. It's going to be really interesting because I know Sarah's dad is going to be hitting on Laura, the life coach. That's going to be awkward. Rocky's mom wants Rocky to realize that she is her mom or something. I don't even know what the situation was. Yeah, and also a local hooker off the street finds her way into the mansion and is greeted in open arms. And then we get a fight in the limo between Jada and Camila, which results to Danny getting her face busted open by Jada's heel, I assume. Because, I mean, I've heard that Jada did bust Danny's face open with a heel, like a stiletto, but I didn't think it was on purpose. So, I didn't think it was on accident, I thought it was on purpose. But from the looks of it, Jada whipped her heel across the limo and it hit Danny in the face. So, this one I think is probably a bit shorter, so thanks for watching, and I will make another one for next week. Hope you enjoy.